Solas and Llewellyn about the elves. Like, this might be fun to start it off with. But he's not Llewellyn. Oh, he is. Oh, I've never seen Boy Llewellyn.
Interested in hearing your opinions on Elven culture?
Yeah.
I thought you would be more interested in sharing your opinions of Elven culture. You are Dalish, are you not?
Proudly.
Yes, I am. The Dalish are the best hope for preserving the culture of our
What
people.
does he say?
Our people. You use that phrase so casually. It should mean more.
Oh.
But the Dalish have forgotten that, among other things.
Oh, but you know the truth, right?
While they pass on stories, mangling details, I walk the fade. I have seen things they have not.
Irabellas, Hare. If the Dalish have done you a disservice, I would make that right. What course would you set for them that is better than what they know now?
You are right, of course. The fault is mine, for expecting what the Dalish could never truly accomplish.
You
Irabellas,
motherfucker.
darling.
I love
if
the
I can
Boy
offer any
Llewellyn.
understanding, you have but to ask.
Is Abelas Dalen? He even calls the boy Llewellyn Dalen. I love it. It should have been that way. He's so bi. He's so bi. Like, come on. It should have been.
You are Dalish, are you
Because
not?
Dalen is like student or like little one.
What's your problem with Dalish? Allergic to Hulla?
Oh.
They are children acting out stories misheard and repeated wrongly 1,000 times.
Oh, but you know the truth, right?
While they pass on
Solas.
stories, mangling details, I walk the fade. I have seen things
What
they have not.
so I think this is his defense mechanism, because then when you check him on that, he's like, you're right, it's my fault. He's like, yeah, I'm really subtle about being the Dreadwolf, and there's a fucking fang.
Fine, you think we're terrible.
Yeah.
What about the
Sweet.
alienages full of elves who aren't Dalish?
Exactly.
Why? What would it benefit some poor man in a Ferelden alienage to learn that his ancestors strode the land like gods? It would only make him bitter, or inspire him to take a foolish risk and get himself killed.
Honey, but it's like ethics to give people all the information. Like, they at least deserve to know their full history.
You've decided his reaction for him.
Yes.
Perhaps I have.
True.
If you have questions and believe the answers will help, ask. You are
Oh my God. It's kind of giving Jesus. I mean that as like Jesus, the human, who was just like giving sermons. That's the vibes I get just from how they kind of like worshipped him, and more than worship with the Dreadwolf, like they just like got together and like hung out with him. I think that he was like trying to push them to like want more than just to be enslaved by the gods. And I think that the elven gods are corrupted and like once just human, elven, just like the rest of them. So I think it's like an occupation, but I'm really curious about like what was there before those corrupted slavers, you know? What was elven culture like? Like, I don't even know if Solas knows. Yeah, exactly, Lindsay. I think I am going
Dalish,
to.
are you not?
My people
wonder
come
if I
from
could
the
get it on
elves
my
who
Steam
refused to
Deck.
surrender when humans broke their treaty and destroyed
Right, I remember
the
you
Dales.
saying that, Couscous.
Your keeper was not wrong about that, at least.
Wait.
Are you not?
My people come from the elves who refused to surrender when humans broke their treaty and destroyed the
Yep.
Dales.
Your keeper was not wrong about that, at least.
I'm, I guess, agnostic. I really like Christ. I like his teachings, but I'm hesitant to call myself a Christian because I really disagree with like evangelical Christian stuff. And in, relatively recent history, how Christianity has been used by the masses to basically enslave and, in the West specifically. I think I know Eastern Christians are still persecuted and have been persecuted. But for me right now, what is helping is like gods from different mythos, and Jesus just like very seamlessly falls into like me studying about Hades, for example, or even Siddhartha, Buddha. I think that I'm interested in not mainstream. Like, I honestly believe Jesus, the actual man, went and learned about Hinduism and Buddhism. Like, I think he traveled there, and he's more about like the oneness of humanity. He's more about son of man than son of God. And I credit to Caleb for telling me that. Like, we're all children of God. I'm just like you. Like, we're reflections of each other.
Must mark the occasion
Hey,
of the Dalish remembering
Hyliax.
something correctly. Perhaps we should plant a tree.
You
So he's Sassy Dale.
insult my people.
Oh no, wait. Solas said that about the Dales?
Treaty and destroyed the Dales.
Your keeper was not wrong about that, at least.
Uh,
We must mark the occasion of the Dalish remembering something correctly. Perhaps we should plant a tree.
why is he acting like that? Why is he Wow, that's so fucking funny. Exactly, Femi. Yeah. It's a good thing. And like, I think that there also are distorted versions of gods like that like aren't true. Like, I kind of like that Gnosticism belief that like the current Christian God is an imposter. Like, the original one has to be discovered again, because there's just too much pain and suffering in his name. I also don't think it's a like guy with a beard in the sky. I think it's like the force. I believe in the force, like the divine. I even believe more in like Gaia and the divine feminine mother. And that could just be because of my lived experiences. I don't think that it has a gender. Anyways, I believe in like the living force and it being like breath and air and stuff. Why is he acting like this? That is so fucking rude. I should plant a tree. We should plant a tree.
You insult my people.
Yes.
They insult themselves.
They don't know shit, motherfucker. That pisses me off.
Remember, I have walked the memories of the Fade. I have seen the history the Dalish imitate.
The Dalish are trying to restore Elven history. If you know
Yes.
something new, share it.
Would your
Why does he disapprove?
clan listen to what I had learned in my studies? My travels?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Or would they mock the Flatir and his stories and go back to their ruins? At least you are asking. But here's something. I will answer as I can.
Are all Dalish elves like
He
my
matches
clan?
your innery mirror. Oh, mirror guy. And that's exactly what I said with Jesus. You know, Jesus was really sassy. He was really sassy and he questioned authority. He, number one, said, like, we're not free until we're all free. Like, as long as there's an oppressed people, I think it was in Mark something. And this is what kind of got me into studying Jesus again. But he said, oh God, what is it? I'm going to butcher the verse, but he says, the way that you treat the least of us is the way you treat me. Period. Period. The way you treat the least of us is the way that you're treating me. Left no crumbs. Left no motherfucking crumbs. That's why I don't. But this matching the energy is really interesting because he has experienced godhood and he hasn't slumbered yet. Oh, right. He approached the Dalish before Inquisition and they rejected him. He still has that kind of God complex because he is. But he didn't really go to sleep yet, right? Jesus was kind of, he was. And he was like so anti-occupation. He was like, fuck you, Romans. Like, why are you occupying? Like, that was his thing. He was Jewish. He was like, I just want to kind of reform. Like, I want to reform shit. Love that. Involuntary godhood. Yeah, so he's going to have to fight to, like, see the person in front of him. But I like how you described it as a mirror. That's so interesting. Mirror guy. Like, he'll match your energy.
No. Your clan was unique in having enough interest in human affairs to send you to spy upon the Divine's meeting. As your clans have been separate for so long, they have all changed, adapting to the lands in which they live. Some are no more than bandits. Others trade freely with humans. And some have disappeared entirely into the forests.
I could also just like have it recording as I play, and if I really need to like react, I can turn my mic on, but for the most part, just like have the major dialogues recorded or something. He sounds so good. Malbanan. Or was that Inky? Who said that?
The forests.
Others trade freely. Humans, some have disappeared entirely into the forest. Yeah. No, that's Inky. Okay. I kind of want to make a male Inky. This is so cute.
I have done no such thing.
Uh-oh.
I simply see no way to help the elves, oppressed as they are now.
You could teach us. Ooh, he's speaking it. He's yelling at him in Dalish.
How many
It's Dalish?
Dalish would listen? Most care little about
What's it
improving their
called?
lives.
Ancient
They
Elven?
already consider themselves perfect, sole keepers of elven law. I might reach a few at most, but you are right.
He needs to meet the Keeper in Origins. I haven't, Couscous. I think I'll make a rogue Inky, so he does like getting yelled at, trust me. He doesn't like getting paunched, but...
That is more than I reach doing nothing. I suppose I'm just tired of fighting.
What do you mean you're tired of fighting? Fighting what?
Did you think I honed my magical skills to impress spirits? I have joined my share of causes, but when I offered lessons learned in the Fade, I was derided by my enemies, and sometimes by my allies. Liar, fool, madman. There are endless ways to say someone isn't worth listening to. Over time, it grinds away at you.
Liar, fool, madman. He burst. He burst, I fear. It bubbled over. He kind of... Did anyone do a fucking video essay, or do I have to? That links him to Jesus. Because even reading what Trey is saying, rejected him at every turn. He's like, no, I have the information. No, I know more than you do. It's like, no. Crucify. And then he comes back as like the Antichrist. He's like, okay, then shit. Okay, shit. I'll come back and unleash it all because you didn't believe me. I know, he loves a debate.
Say someone isn't worth listening to. Over time, it grinds away at you.
That's when you should lean on your friends.
Apologies, Inquisitor. I have learned not to do that.
So when he says I have learned not to do that, is that about the other elven gods? Wait, am I gonna like see his ex? Like, did he have a thing with Gillanane or something? Is Inky gonna like have to cut a bitch? Yeah, he warned them, and it's like the false idols and stuff. I think that it could really be a similar to Jesus. He did warn them. He said. And then also just being like, forgive them.
Over time, it grinds away at you.
If you're tired of losing, you might consider winning.
Slightly improved.
You're right.
I love the voice actor. I love their laugh
Apparently,
for him.
I needed to hear it myself. Perhaps there is hope for you yet, Inquisitor. Over time, it grinds away at you.
If you stop fighting, they win.
You do not win a war by fighting to the death in every battle.
See, that is so interesting. He doesn't want to fight. You don't win a war by fighting to the death in every battle.
Pick the fights you can win. Remember your goals and do nothing that does not further them. I simply see no way to help the elves, oppressed as they are now.
You could still try. But ultimately, you don't care enough about them.
So you attack me? Not for failing to have some magical solution, but for not appearing to care? Which is it? Do you wish me to find a way to help elves? Or do you wish me to cry to prove my feelings?
Oh.
There is no simple solution. I think you know that. Why attack me for knowing it as well?
I know. You're right. But I wish you weren't.
Yep.
If it helps, so do I.
He's not going to... He doesn't want a huge following. He doesn't want it to get big. And if in the original Bible mythos or whatever stories, Jesus didn't want his Christianity to get big. He said, like, you know, tell your loved ones, but I don't want it to get too big. Like, tell your loved ones what I'm teaching you, teach them, but I don't want it to go crazy. And like, he would do a miracle on someone, he would perform a miracle and be like, please don't tell anyone. That's the vibes I'm getting. Like, I won't say resentful, but like a humble and a dubious leader. Like, he really doesn't want to lead, you know, and he doesn't want to control people with emotions. And even, you know, that line, if you romance him, where you're just like, he's like, I wouldn't lay with you under false pretenses. For me, that meant that they did sleep together, and he wasn't lying because this is truly him, and he's not putting on a show for people. He's not like the icon of a revolution. He's really not trying to, he doesn't like the Dreadwolf take me and like choke me, daddy. He doesn't want to be idolized. So he's kind of angry and frustrated because he's just like, I'm not going to cry in front of the masses and do this speech that's like written. No, like what I do care. I just don't know how to show it. I think Caleb needs to play this because it reminds me of Caleb too. It's just like, I'm worried people think I don't care because I'm not acting the right way. It's like neurodivergent coded.
A man who has lived half his life in the Fade has no ideas.
Yeah,
Not unless we collapse the veil and bring the Fade here so I can casually reshape reality, no.
Ah! He exposed himself.
You know that. Why attack me for knowing it as well?
I know. You're right. But I wish you weren't.
If it helps, so do I.
The man who has lived half his life in the Fade has no ideas.
Not unless we collapse the veil and bring the Fade here so I can casually reshape reality, no.
You're a mage!
And you were the Inquisitor. You could order Hallam Shiral returned to the Dalish if you wished.
What's Hallam Shiral? What's Hallam Shiral? 1 second. A city in Orlais. Oh, so it's what the Tevinter people took? Orlais, former capital of the Dales. Hallam Shiral was built by the elves at the end of the long walk. The end of the journey. So he's saying you could do it too, bitch. You lazy ass.
So do I.
And I'm like, what special powers does he have right now? None, right? Until he dismantles the Fade.
Man who has lived half his life in the Fade has no ideas.
Not unless we collapse the veil and bring the Fade here so I can casually reshape reality, no.
Collapse the veil.
You're a mage!
And you were the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
You could order Hallam Shiral returned to the Dalish if you wished.
And would you know, because you would plan, if that was really something that you wanted to do, you would take it slow. You wouldn't. And that's why him just like suddenly being like, I don't think he fully believes in what he's doing. Because he met his energy and said, well, you could do this too. The Inquisitor would never just impulsively be like, give that back. Unless you were evil. Give that back right now. Because that would cause so much strife and death. So I'm like, Solas, what is happening that you would just like so quickly collapse it? Yeah, his power was in the orb, right? It's so good. It's so good.
But ultimately, you know that would fail.
Exactly. See? He's saying that's him talking to himself. You know that would fail. You cannot solve this.
That even you cannot solve this.
Yes.
Why
so
attack
why
me
does he
for knowing
do
that
it?
as well?
So why?
Because you've given up, and I haven't.
Oh, shit. Wait, is this implying... Doesn't he say, no matter what, like, you inspired me or something? In Trespasser?
Find a way to help elves. With or without your help.
And in all sincerity, I wish you luck. For my part, I will do what I can.
With your power, you could do something. I've seen you in battle.
Who would I attack? A gate guard? What if he felt sorry for the poor knife ears under his watch?
Oh.
Or the lord who rules the city? Would his death at an elven apostate's hand lead to better treatment for elves?
This also proves he's been stewing over it and it's not an impulsive idea. I think he's considered every life lost. Like anyone who characterizes him as a genocidal maniac, like seriously, someone was in our fucking community, been banned by now for other shit, but said that Solas is a genocidal maniac who's like impulsively acting. Bitch, he's had years, centuries to think about this. He has considered every single fucking death, and it's just like, how many years can you think about that and like live with your guilt and think about, okay, well then it would hurt this person, I don't know if that person feels bad. It's too much, and I still don't agree with him, but it's like a very good tortured villain. Yeah, Anders. Ah, that's so true.
I've seen you in battle.
That's so true.
Who would I attack? A gate guard? What if he felt sorry for the poor knife ears under his watch? Or the lord who rules the city? Would his death at an elven apostate's hand lead to better
Such
treatment
good
for
writing,
elves?
Patrick.
There is no simple solution. I think you know that. Why attack me for knowing it as well?
No, Benny, I do have to at some point.
'Tis not what
I need to replay this because I don't remember any of this.
expected. What was this? 'Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
Vanavis, you are unlike the other invaders. You have the features of those who call themselves Elven. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
I won't be interrogated at sword point. Declare yourself.
Look at him looking
I
at
am
her.
called Abelas.
Abelas.
We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground.
Trespasser.
We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
Solas,
Look at him.
Perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
Oh.
Our people have lost everything. They need you. They
He
could learn from
approves
you.
this.
Our people? The ones we see in the forest, shadows wearing Valisline.
Valisline.
You are not my people.
But he has Valisline too, so what the fuck's he going on about? I think I'm gonna make my Elfie with no eyebrows. I'm sorry. But my Rook. I kind of want a no eyebrow queen.
And you have invaded our sanctum as readily as the Shemlin.
Yeah, Shemlin.
We knew this place was sacred. We've
So
respected
at least, I stand by Inky drinking from the well because she's an elf. So at least they kind of honored that.
it as best we could.
His is a servitude to Mythal, would let Dalish use it to honor the gods. But they're slave markings. Oh, Mythal isn't a god? I didn't know Mythal wasn't an elven god. I thought she was.
I believe you.
Oh.
Trespassers you are, but you have followed rites of petition.
But some weird shit's
You have
going
shown
on with
respect
Mythal.
to Mythal. If these others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them.
But I guess
When this
Morgan
done,
is uniquely
you shall be permitted
capable.
to depart.
Mythal
and
is an
never
elven god.
Return.
This is our goal, is it not? There is no reason to fight these sentinels.
Consider carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
I refuse.
As you wish. Our duty is clear. The Vira Belasan shall not be usurped, even if I must destroy it. Masal Dinan.
The run?
No! Morrigan!
Morrigan. What pride had wrought.
That was unnecessary. A pointless waste of life.
I should have trusted his so-called deal.
Why not? Did he not seem honorable?
He's a guardian, trying to eliminate one group of invaders before
No.
the next.
You don't know that.
Uh-oh.
Such a waste. To live through eternity only to end up like that.
Then perhaps you should have agreed to his deal.
Okay, Solas.
I didn't make them attack, Solas.
Yes, Solas.
They're the ones clinging to their pointless duty.
I love Sassy.
Pointless, is it? This is their land, not yours.
We had to come to stop Corypheus. You followed me here.
Yes. So I did.
You are not my people. And you have invaded our sanctum as readily as the
I wonder if it didn't start out as slave markings. Maybe it started as a way for higher up servants to show who they work for. Right. And it would be cool if like there was even, it goes even deeper, like, or even farther back.
Hey, Varric, I was reading your stuff. Where do your bad guys come from?
Well, some of them come from Tevinter, and some are Ben Hazrath spies. But I like the stories where the villain was the man beside you the whole time. The best villains don't see themselves as evil. They're fighting for a good cause, willing to get their hands dirty.
All right, that's really deep and all, but I meant where do the bad guys come from, literally? The way you write it, it's like they just fall from the sky and land on top of the hero.
I like to leave some things to the reader's imagination.
That is so funny. Oh my god. Yeah, I think I'm gonna replay this on my own time though.